If you are not defined by the vision of your future, you are living the past. We come back again, we come back again, we come back again, we come back again. So, in this life, we have seen so many people by trying to be the slave of their time. But when you look how they communicate, how they engage, how they just conduct it, how they get involved in the situations nowadays, it seems like even if they can just try to pretending nothing is happening, they are slaves of their past. They are the slaves of their history. By the way, I need to explain this because just so many people have different background history. Maybe you was born in this very critical condition. Maybe you was born in somehow very scary period, according to so many different perceptions, so many different scenarios, so many different situations. So when you just always having this thought, having this type of ideas, when you just always scared that what happens in your past, it can bring back, it can come back. But you don't have to be scary, because keep living in the surviving mode, it will not only make you scared, but also it is going to holding you back. What do I mean by that? Look, next time when you want to improve your life, when you want to make a progress about, or when you want to take your life to the next level, this type of voice, this inner voice, I don't mean this all word outside, this type of imaginations, this type of feelings, mostly these feelings you have, it is negative. So when you don't clear very well what happened to you in your past, it is going to come back very soon. Sooner or later, you are going to start panicking, and you are going to start making decisions. You are going to make an actions. You are going to make a choice based on the past. Remember, we want to be free from our miserable. We want to be free from our past. But if you just always predicting some future worst case scenario because something has happened to your life, then what do you expect? It is going to come back. You see, you may not believe at what I'm saying, and you may not agree with me, but understand that human beings, we make our decisions, we make a choice, we take a step, we take an actions based on how we feel inside ourselves. This is why emotion or feelings of individual or person, it is an unpredictable things. You cannot predict someone will always behave the same way. Why? Because environment, society, the company, all these surroundings, people, they affect who we are. When I'm saying this, many people may just take it for granted because they may say, I'm just genius, I'm smart, I'm a educated person. How can this happen to me? By the way, the word education, this society has been explaining it in a very long way. When you just doing your own research, you search, you dig deep, you understand, you try to understand what the meanings of education. It is opposite. It is far beyond to be true about how people have been interpreted this word education. So according to the society, education is go to school, get a degree, get a certificate, then you have already finished your job. Waiting the opportunity, waiting the staff to come to find you. But it is opposite. Education is like oxygen, is like your everyday life. You cannot tell me you have finished to study, you have finished to educate yourself. Education is like part of your life, is the fact of life. You see, whether you like it or not, human beings, we are negotiators. I don't mean you have to be in the sector of savings or purchasing on the industry of sellings. No. Whatever we do in our everyday life, you will need to negotiate. What do I mean by that? If you are engaging in the dating someone, you will need to convince that person to go out, to get married, to move the price, to change the clauses. All these things is all about negotiations. So what is negotiation? Negotiation is to getting what you want from another person. That is it. Without violating any rules or regulations. If I'm saying go and look this person, ask the person to give you the materials, the stuff, and when you can get those things without violating anything, that is a negotiation. This is why in whatever we do everyday life, we are negotiators. So the reason why it is most dangerous to always living in the surviving mode, always predicting some future worst scenario which may happen, it is because you are not creating the life you want. You are now bringing those historical image, those historical activities, those historical actions, and they are going to become your future destiny. You see, if you cannot think greater than how you feel, you're in trouble. What do I mean by that? If you always wake up feeling exhausted, you're feeling down, you're feeling somehow complaints, you're just pointing others' fingers, you are just always, when you wake up, you see the problems, the negative things, you just always attracting the poisoning people, you just attracting the bad things, you end up your relationship badly. All these things keep happening because it is the reflection of who you are. You see, perception is everything. When you just use your filter by judging, by criticizing, by making a decisions, do not try to fool yourself that it is just disappearing. It has vanished somewhere. It is going to come back. And it is already there because you have been installing in those programs in your mind. So maybe if you always, by the time you start remembering your past, you start panicking. You need to be careful. It hasn't been anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere. It is still there. So this is why when I remember one of my friend, he used to tell me that when we reach in the April of in month of April, he start getting headache. What does this mean? He has been linked this believing system with that month. Maybe something has happened to him like many years ago during that month, but for him, he think he has already removed, get rid of those negative things and painful emotions. But it is still there. It is still there. That's why he can't just get rid of it in his mind. So this is why when you ask someone to make a decision, to compare to do a comparison, difference two things, he will just make this decision. He will make this choice based on how he feels. This is why when two people are watching some same content of footage of a video, they will react in different way. You know the reason why? We are wired different. And we make a decision based on how we feel, not based on logical things. So, for you to understand these things, how it is very dangerous, you need to just do the self-evaluation about your life. Like, ask yourself, if the level of understanding, if the level of thinking, if the critical thinking level you have today, if it were the same like 10 plus years ago, could you be the same person like you are today? Could you achieve the same things you have already achieved today? So it is up to you to ask yourself. You have the answer.